The Africa Regional Platform is normally a biennial event that takes place every 2 years. The last one was in Tunisia, and we're supposed to have this biennial report last year. But with COVID-19, that has transformed our world. We have to adjust to wait until we reach the peak, and that is why we are here in Nairobi. Now, organizing this kind of event in a COVID-19 crisis is a huge success, and it indicates commitment by government to disaster risk reduction. So it's a huge success. Well, the purpose of the Africa Regional Platform usually are threefold. One is to share lessons and experiences among states, because states are not at the same level. So some are doing very well, some are catching up, and some are starting. So having this platform helps them to understand and exchange lessons that will help them to go back home and try to adjust their institutional setup to help them respond to a crisis. That is one. And the second aspect actually is to review continental progress. In Tunis, we had a number of declarations, a political declaration by African ministers responsible for DRR. And we are coming here to see how far have we gone with the implementation of the Tunis declaration. And as I mentioned earlier, I think there is a reason to celebrate. There is a lot of success that have been witnessed since we departed Tunis 3 years ago. And the last aspect usually of this platform is to prepare an African position to the global process. The next global platform is going to be in Bali, Indonesia, in May 2022. And this platform is preparing an African position to influence the global outcome. So usually these are the three main aspects of this platform. When we were in Tunis, we had drought, yes. There was also serious drought, protracted drought in South Africa. Cape Town was running out of water, and there was flooding as well in Eastern Africa. But that was quite a normal situation. I think we are in a situation where which is far more chaotic than when we were in Tunis 3 years ago. We now have COVID-19 interacting with desert locust invasion, interacting with drought in Kenya, and flood in South Sudan, and all over Africa. So you have 5 events interacting at the same time. This actually overstretching capacities of government to respond to this multiple events. So what really come out from this regional platform, and you will appreciate it, is that the issue of systemic risk is very prominent. I think there is a realization that we cannot address one hazard single-handedly. We need to look at them as complex systems in a multidimensional manner. And we need to have systems that address them at the same time. Because we are in a situation now where if you want to respond to one hazard, the hazard will come before you recover. And then you go to the second hazard, the third hazard will come before you recover. So we are in a situation where recovery is not possible. And therefore, I think we need to have systems that help us to recognize that we are in interconnected dynamics. So I think this conference has brought that aspect quite clearly. When COVID started, we saw dangerous trend of nationalism. Countries close up their borders. But this is you cannot, COVID-19 is not a national issue. From one country it started, it went viral all over the world. And there was sudden lockdown. And then we began to use tools, wrong tools, like closing national borders. I think nationalisms cannot be applied to issues of crisis, because we are increasingly witnessing interconnectedness of risk and crisis that transcend national borders. So we need to embrace multilateralism. And with climate change, I think there is a need to ensure that international collaboration is strengthened to help developing countries to cope up with growing risks and crises. And I think that is the way to go. Because if you don't address risk in Kenya, Kenya will get another COVID, and that COVID will go and cross the Atlantic. So I think we need to understand that risks are becoming transboundary, and we need to support one another. One aspect also that we need to work on is Pan-African mechanisms that help countries to support one another. Kenya may not be in the same capacity with South Africa or with the Gambia. So we need to ensure that we have that Pan-African mechanisms that help one country to respond in another country through an AU Pan-African process. This is the way to go, because the future is not really optimistic when it comes to risk and crisis.